So I want to add in this final segment that my acquisition of language was not totally from um, fluent speaking, and I understood the language, and I was able to speak it somewhat, but it wasn't until I had a formal education was that I was able to totally say those words. They were like long words like that, and I went to university to learn how to write, and so uh, when I finished my education degree, I began teaching, and I was able to read the language. I was able to teach it to elementary students, and then also I was able to speak to the elders because I was able to um, speak it now, knowing that I could read it. It helped in that process. Furthermore, it helped me to to well, a few things happened. Um, One of them was when I was going to university. My grandfather continued to talk to me about who I was and what he thought was important as a young person that I should move forward with. And one of the things that he would share with me is that our language, um, it tells us about who we are. It tells us about our spirituality. And the example that he gave me was the word stars. The word stars, the words for star is achak, achakos, a little spirit. Inside each one of us, there's a light. That's achak, and up in the sky are achakosak. So he showed me how the meaning of words come from understanding our belief system, understanding our values. And not only was he sharing with me words, he was sharing with me really deep rooted values, an understanding of oneself in this whole, um, in the life process. Um, Other things that he would do would be to challenge us as young people. He like, there's a difference between cultural knowledge and modern words. For example, old people used to come and visit, and they would ask me, ask her to say ashtray, and I would say back to big ones, and it is literally what it is. It describes what an ashtray is. And another one would be like zipper. That's a modern word. And so we use that. It's sipopchikan. Okay, sipopchikan. It has no other meaning other than what it does. However, in our Cree language, there's deeper meaning about the spirituality and that role that item plays in nature and our environment. So that's how I learned language. Like it helped me have a better idea of my identity, my Cree identity, learning the meaning of those words. And so much later, more recently, my uncle was driving by my school, and he thought, I really need to share this information with somebody. And so he pulled off into our school and come and found me, and I thought it was really something that somebody would come and take time out of their day to come and share with me something. And so knowing that role that he has and my role as a younger person, whatever he said, I took notes, and I wanted to make sure that I was exact in the way that he was sharing that information with me. And he works with families because of what has happened, colonization and residential schools. He works with families and their broken families. So many people don't know who they are, and he said because the family system has been broken because of residential school. And so he proceeded to tell me about these three poles. As you can see here, we have this. The story that my grandfather told me is integrated in with this picture, and and he said like these when you understand the Cree word of these first three poles, these are the foundational poles on the teepee, and I teach this in my classroom. Here is an example of one of the students' work. So well done, and you can tell they were listening and paying attention to what was being taught, and so it came out in their project. Okay, so he came into the classroom and he told me these three poles, they represent the family, the foundation of our community. The first one represents the mother, Nikawi. If you listen to it, what is the root word in that word, Nikawi? These are also relationships. It's so important how we're connected in our families. So this pole, Nikawi, it represents the mother. The mother is the leader. That's what it means, Nikan, the leader in this family system. And she's the one who nurtures and she provides everything that is needed. So here we have all these little stars in the sky. If you look up in the sky, it's the exact same story my grandfather told me too. And he says the only way that each one of us can come into this realm, we come from the stars and we come through our mother right here. That's how we come into this world. And so we have to appreciate women, and we have to appreciate the role that they play in our families, and they are the leaders. For example, he said, let's say for instance, we were picking Saskatoons at this camp, and all the berries have been picked, have all the medicines in this area have been picked, and so the women will decide, okay, we need to move our camp over here maybe it's on the other side of these hills where there's chokecherries. Some people call them Juneberries. So maybe they're over there, and maybe there's like sweetgrass and sage now has to be picked. So the women decide when to move this camp. The men are there to provide protection and to hunt, and so the women would lead the way, the warriors on the sides, and then the leaders in the back. And that's how they would move their camp. So the women in our traditional family systems were the leaders. We have the man right here. The man is Nutawi. Nutawi. The root word for Nutawi is knows how to speak well. So in the family system, the father is acts as a guide. He acts as a counselor in the family, and provides support to the family. And here we have the child. So mother, father, and child. The child is called awasis. Awasis. The root word for child is awi, which means on loan. So they're on loan from the Creator. to our families. Our children are on loan, and we need to take care of them. So, this is the family system that my uncle shared with me, and he said if we understood the true meaning of our language, if we understood our language and the root words that we use, then we would understand ourselves, and it would make sense to us how to behave, how to act in our culture, in our language, and our identity as Cree people. So that was the example that he wanted to share with me, and he also said, like, share that with others. We need to relearn our languages, and we need to be proud of who we are and understand the root words of the Cree language. And so that is an example of the meaning of languages. The meaning of languages comes from our connection to Mother Earth, our relationship with Mother Earth, and how we are going to take care of Mother Earth. We are stewards of Mother Earth, and it's in our language and how we're going to live with Mother Earth. So I'd like to thank Wikimedia for inviting me to share a little bit about what I know about languages and sharing our identity. And thank you so much.